Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. There's a chart analyst who thinks that this month, April 2021, we will finally see again XRP over $1. And whether or not that happens this month, there's no way I could possibly know for sure. But regardless, the sentiment that I keep seeing from the chart analysts that I follow that talk about XRP and track it regularly is that we are definitely in a positive macro trend here. And it's just a matter of time until the fireworks really light up here. Other topics to talk about having to do with price, though, including Bitcoin's dominance just continuing to decrease as altcoins become worth substantially more. I want to talk about where we are within the market cycle. And also there's a short Twitter thread having to do with the idea of, okay, I've got this Bitcoin. Should I sell it for XRP? Because Bitcoin has run through most of its course, so says a mini chart analyst for this market cycle anyway. So plenty to talk about, but I do want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say, alright? I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a fun hobby about XRP and Ripple and crypto in general. That is all that it is. Now, as I record this, XRP is a little over 62 cents, Bitcoin's at $57,201, market cap for the asset class 1.88 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance down to 56.67%. And I'll tell you what, I do not mind seeing that one bit. Because I'm at a point where I'm ready for, hey, I mean, I'll take any dips if they come along. Don't get me wrong. Like I have some USD on the side just in case here. But outside of that, I'm ready. I'll be happy to see altcoins just start taking off parabolically, which will result in Bitcoin dominance decreasing, even if the price is going up. It just means that the altcoins are outpacing it. Wouldn't mind seeing some altcoins start to pop off one little tiny baby boo bit. And so where are we in terms of the market cycle? Well, you guys are familiar with the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? I think it was created, some time ago. I believe it was Time Magazine. I didn't pull that up for this video because we got something even better. XRP community member XRP Crow made his own Wall Street cheat sheet, but for crypto specifically. And it effectively is the same thing, but it's interesting. And so I'm going to pull this up full screen. And by the way, if you haven't followed XRP Crow, he's at Status on Twitter, STEDAS. And so he wrote here, and I'll make this full screen in just a moment, but he wrote, "Are we still somewhere between hope and optimism for XRP?" And so what this chart is highlighting is just the natural progression of a market cycle. And this is true for the stock market. It's also true for crypto. Now, given that he talks about crypto as a fan of XRP, and I am, and you probably are too if you're listening to this, he tailored this a little bit to the crypto enthusiast. But it's effectively the same thing in terms of the progression of the market cycle. And so you can see that, we could be in between. So he's saying potentially between hope and optimism. This is before the parabolic stuff. So certainly before that, whether it's disbelief or hope or approaching optimism, somewhere along there, that's got to be where we are with XRP because, again, it hasn't gone up. But this is what happens. Eventually it'll start going up, and then people hit this belief stage, and then even more money just pours in, and then you have an even more straight up chart action here, and then people get thrilled about this, and then at the top you hit euphoria. And this just has to do with humans being humans, and the reason that the chart effectively is the same just structurally, whether it's the stock market or crypto, is because humans have the same DNA and tendencies whether they're purchasing a stock or crypto. You just have faster market cycle with crypto for a number of reasons, which I've talked about in some recent videos. So we're not at that point yet, but eventually, this is why I keep saying, I firmly believe you're going to see not just a bear market, but if you look historically at what's happened with XRP and crypto after it's peaked out massively, you're going to see a major pullback. But to me, I'm not going to be. This is not me spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is just me acknowledging how a market cycle works, and I will view that as an opportunity right now. But I just wanted to highlight that right now, and I do believe this. We're early on this market cycle here for XRP specifically. Bitcoin is clearly a bit further along, but historically XRP pops off among last, if not the last. So plenty of opportunity to be had here. Now, chart analyst Leb Crypto, he puts out new thoughts on XRP today. Within the last couple days, he shared the following, which I did share in previous videos, but I want to set the table here so that you know what he's been saying over the last few days, because not everybody watches every video that I put out, although you should, and I'm offended that you don't, so start doing that. Anyway, on April 1st, he wrote, XRP, the chart speaks louder than all the FUD and crypto Twitter memes. $1 plus is highly probable on high time frame, and there ain't much you can do about it. Then the next day, April 2nd, wrote, XRP continuing to grind up within the gray zone resistance at the moment. Closing above it this weekend would be very bullish. And then today, April 3rd, wrote the following. Closed above gray zone resistance, perfect retest, and off it goes. Given this, $1 plus levels this month are now even more probable. Hashtag XRP. And I do not mind seeing that one little bit. So hopefully, I would look. Great news if it happens this month. Now, to be clear, even if it does happen this month, even Lev Crypto doesn't think that that means this is the month where we start seeing XRP run up to all-time highs. He seems to think, as do many chart analysts, that that's something that would happen much later this year. But these levels that we've been talking about, hitting 55 cents and then the significance of 60 cents, and most importantly, the final important stop before $1, 80 cents. So that's the one that I'm most interested in seeing us pass and close above, is that 80-cent level now. When that happens, yeah, off to the races. And he seems to think that that's going to be happening this month, which I definitely would not mind. And here's a tweet that he penned on his Twitter account from September 24th, 2020. Right, and so this is, mind you, I don't remember exactly what the price was, XRP at the time, but what was it, like 25, 30 cents, somewhere around there? It's probably something like that. And wrote the following. Thoughts on the XRP chart, emphasizing that it's long-term channel bound. And so, again, September 2020 wrote, 80 cents end of year. Now, that's interesting because that's about what we ended up hitting before the year closed out. Pretty damn close. We're hovering right around there. In fact, if you look at Coinbase, we actually spiked above that to 92 or 93 cents for a split second. But most other exchanges, it was, I think, very close to 80 cents. Pretty damn close. He's also one of the analysts that was calling for some fireworks to light up close to mid-November when XRP did start to finally rally, when it did run up closer to 80 cents. Now, he also wrote the following, and he still has this pin, so it's pretty clear to me that this is something that he thinks is still in the cards here. Revisiting all-time high during summer 2021. Guys, that's not far away. We're already in spring officially, so less than 3 months, we hit summer, and tell you what, sometime third quarter this year, even if we have to wait the third quarter, I am not going to be crying. I will happily be paid. I've been waiting over 3 years, and I don't feel burnt out on it at all. I have a fun time tracking this on a daily basis. I am Mr. Patient. It's the people that get burnt out and impatient and this or that end up losing, and that's why Warren Buffett stated that the stock market, and this applies to crypto, I believe, he said that the stock market is a mechanism for trading wealth from the impatient to the patient. Well, I want the wealth transferred to me, so I'm going to be one of the patient people, right? Now, he also wrote, and this is XRP still, moon to $20+ end of year 2021. And that is the range that I see cited from a ton of chart analysts, including Credible Crypto and DIY Investing, and there are others. Worth noting. Now, here's a tweet from XRP community member Nipsey Lafette, who tagged Credible Crypto, another popular chart analyst, and wrote, "Long-time listener, first-time caller here. When looking at the XRP chart on the daily time frame, do you think we could see it drop back down into the 40s, so 40-cent range, within the next couple of weeks, forming an inverse head and shoulders from back in February?" And Incredible Crypto responded, "Pretty unlikely in my opinion, unless Bitcoin takes a major hit, which I don't think is super likely at the moment." So yeah, everything that we're seeing in the charts, and this is what I am getting from the vast majority. Actually, I can't even think of a chart analyst that isn't saying this. Things are looking bullish, even for Bitcoin, despite the fact that it acknowledges too. Today we've pulled back a bit, so this market compared to yesterday, mostly in the red. But we just had a big jump up yesterday for XRP and altcoins in general. So to me, this isn't some sort of scary thing. Whatever the volatility is, it is. These are illiquid markets with a frenzy around them. Of course there's going to be volatility. This stuff doesn't scare me. I just let the emotional humans that don't know what the hell's going on FOMO in and panic sell, and I'm just not going to participate. But people can do whatever the hell they want. And so then there was this tweet also, and I did highlight this the other day. But there are a couple tweets that occurred after that I want to highlight because I think it's a fun thing to talk about briefly. And so Credible Crypto yesterday wrote, long the reclaim and retest with the strength of 1,000 hodlers with proper risk management, or forever hold your peace XRP. And then there was this chart. So if you watched my video on price yesterday, you saw me highlight this. Unless you didn't watch the whole thing, which you should have, and I'm offended if you didn't. Anyway, but so here's the range, and we got up there. And it's kind of in line with what Love Crypto was saying too. Hey, now that we're here, probabilities this goes higher, probably looking pretty good. Somebody named Tip responded to that and wrote, is it still smart to flip my Bitcoin to XRP? And so, and look, I hold a Bitcoin. I am long Bitcoin. And I've said for a long time, I am not interested in timing markets, other than if you want to call it timing market, waiting for a massive pullback. Because like my bags are packed, my crypto bags are packed, and so you have to entice me if you want me to buy more crypto. That's the way I'm looking at it. I do have a certain amount of USD on the sideline, and so if dips come, I'll take advantage of them. If you want to call that timing the market, okay, fine. When I'm talking about timing the market, though, it's more about this idea of I think like XRP is going to go lower, so I'm going to sell now and hope I can shave 5 or 10% off and then buy it at a slightly cheaper price. And that I'm not going to do because I'm looking for asymmetrical gains that look like what we saw in 2017 when XRP went from 20-something cents to almost $4. I am not going to put my holdings at risk, hoping that it goes lower, because the one time I'm wrong, I'm ruined. Completely wrecked after doing this for over 3 years. I'm not willing to do that because there's no way I'm smart enough. Smart's not even the right word. Fortunate enough, lucky enough to just have that happen if I were going to continually engage in that behavior. Yeah, maybe you get lucky sometimes, but eventually it will take off. And if you were hoping to buy in cheaper that one time, you are ruined. So it's like I'm not willing to do that personally. So really, when I'm talking about timing markets, that's really more so what I mean. But once something's gone up parabolic, taking profits and then putting it somewhere else, that can make sense to me. Now I haven't talked about this too much. I personally have been treating my Bitcoin a little bit different, and I'm not completely set in stone on this because, look, I believe that Bitcoin, it's look, a huge chunk of the gains you're going to see, they've already happened. Bitcoin was $3,000 and something in March last year, and now it's closer to 60 grand. So a huge percentage of the the asymmetrical gains we're going to see this market cycle, it's already occurred. I don't know what the top will be for Bitcoin. I don't know if the people that say 80,000 are right. I don't know if the people that say 200 or 300,000 are right. Not completely sure, of course. So I do think at some point Bitcoin, even if let's just say it goes to $80,000, yeah, maybe it makes sense to sell all of it at that point. Maybe it does if you want to maximize profits and throw it in another crypto that hasn't gone parabolic. And I am maybe I'll do some of that with if there's if opportunities present themselves with altcoins. Now with Bitcoin though, I haven't really completely made up my mind. I've mostly been thinking, well, even though I'm most excited about XRP, it's my largest holding. I admittedly have been kind of thinking, well, the market's already at least to this point decided that Bitcoin's a winner. It doesn't matter what I think about it. The market has decided. Even if I think it's stupid that it doesn't do anything else than store value purely because it's the first crypto. And hey, look, if it's the standard for store of value because it was the first and that's what humans have decided, okay, fine. It doesn't matter if I think that makes logical sense. If that's what the market's decided, that's what it's decided. And so I've been playing with this idea of maybe just never selling my Bitcoin, period. And I'm expecting my XRP holdings are just going to far outpace anything I'm going to get from Bitcoin this market cycle anyway. It's my largest holding, so that shouldn't be surprising, assuming this goes the way I think and hope that it will. And so just take a bunch of profit there, and then just since Bitcoin is Bitcoin and there's less opportunity in terms of multiplier effect anyway, because it is number one in market cap, there's already more money in it, maybe just like have a super duper incredibly long-term mindset where I'm like, yeah, I'll just never sell it or I'll just have it for decades. And so I have been thinking along those lines. I don't think it would be for me, and I'm just speaking for myself now, if I ended up deciding to sell it because I think it's way up there, like what if it did go to 300,000 and I'm like, okay, well the bubble's going to pop. Which I do think will happen. That's the thing. Like I do believe that the bubble's going to pop. It's going to go down 80%. And so I've been talking about what I mean here, and maybe this will sound stupid to some people, but everybody's got to have their own plan. I'm considering just writing it out every single market cycle right now, because if Bitcoin's going to be here decades from now, I think it'll be worth a fortune. And at this point, the market's more certain of that than any other crypto. And it doesn't matter what I think. I'm most confident in XRP. But the market, who knows what the market's going to think another 5 or 10 years from now. We need to see how adoption actually occurs, how it actually unfolds. So will I end up selling it? I'll let you know if I do. I don't know. I guess mostly what I've been thinking is just hold forever. And even to this point too, even though XRP is my favorite, like, yeah, I plan to sell a bunch of it to convert it, but that's adjusting risk exposure. That's part of it. And also, it doesn't mean that I'd sell all of my XRP necessarily. It's just there's such a huge disparity from XRP compared to my Bitcoin holdings. It makes sense to sell some XRP if this ends up rallying the way that I think and hope that it will. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you guys can tell me what you think. I just think it's a fun topic of conversation. And whether you buy or hold your your Bitcoin, or whether you convert it to XRP, I don't think you're stupid or smart if you do either of those things. Everybody just has different goals and different ways of looking at it and different time horizons. And so I don't think it's a one size fits all. It kind of depends on what you personally want to achieve for yourself. And it just, certainly risk tolerance is a huge portion of that, but that's why it's also interesting to note that Bitcoin's been here 12 years and the market has decided it is the number one winner, at least to this point. Maybe that will change, but it seems to be the most solid long-term bet. The market has decided. It doesn't matter what you and I think. I'm just saying the market in general seems to have thought that. So I don't know. I really would love to hear what you guys think about that topic, though. And then there was this tweet from a chart analyst, Crypto Kevin Dixon, who wrote, I can count 7 layers of Elliott waves in play right now. This is how XRP can be compressed like a spring, waiting for a trigger to blast off. It may seem like it's doing nothing, but be assured it is doing something. XRP investors, your time is coming. And so this is the chart that he posted with the tweet. And so this is in line with something that I've been talking about, which other analysts have been talking about, which I've highlighted on this channel, which is that the longer something trades sideways, that is to say, the longer a particular asset, a crypto asset, consolidates, the greater it pops off when it finally does. And we know, because there's data, you just use your own human eyeballs, pull up the charts, don't take my word for it. The longer XRP trades sideways, the greater the pop. Just look at how it's behaved. There's a reason it was the number one performer, either literally or almost last market cycle when it increased, whatever it was, 70 or 80,000%. It was something stupid like that. And so I won't be at the least bit surprised if you see something in line with that again this market cycle. And then there's this article. I'm not going to read the thing, but I did want to highlight this from Decrypt. Bitcoin dominance falls to 7-month low as altcoins surge. And so they note that the Bitcoin's market dominance is actually at a 7-month low right now. And so I do believe you will continue to see, as altcoins pop off, you're going to see this dominance decrease. And it doesn't mean that the price necessarily of Bitcoin will go down. And who knows? Maybe there'll be a Bitcoin rally before that, because it's not done with its movement for this bull portion of the market cycle. I don't think it is at all. But again, when we start to see the really heated up crazy stuff within the alt season, that's when you're going to see Bitcoin dominance drop like a rock. And who knows, maybe it'll still be months from now. And I don't mind if it's going to take a few months. I mean, if it starts taking off now, that'll be more fun and exciting. But whatever happens, I'm just saying I'm going to be Mr. Patient here. So again, let me know what you think about on these topics in the comment section below. I think it makes for fun conversation, but I will wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.